We're diving headfirst into the dark heart of America, a country with a history as rich as it is terrifying. From coast to coast, there are places where the veil between our world and the spectral realm is thin, paper thin. These are the haunted, the cursed, the downright unexplainable. We're talking about abandoned hospitals echoing with the tormented whispers of patients past, forgotten prisons where the clanging of cell doors still rings in the dead of night. These are the places where logic goes to die, where the laws of nature bend and break. Get ready, because we're about to embark on a chilling journey to 10 of the creepiest, most bone-chilling destinations in the United States. These are the places that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the world, the places that will make you sleep with the lights on. So buckle up, because we're about to confront the unknown. We're going face to face with the spirits that linger in the shadows, the echoes of tragedy that refuse to fade. This is a journey into the heart of fear itself. Nestled in the sunny San Jose, California, lies a house unlike any other. The Winchester Mystery House, a sprawling Victorian mansion, is a labyrinth of architectural oddities. Staircases that lead to dead ends, doors that open to brick walls, windows overlooking other rooms. It's a maze designed to confuse the living and the dead. Sarah Winchester, the widow of the Winchester rifle magnate, believed she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by her husband's invention. Driven by grief and fear, she spent decades constructing and reconstructing this bizarre mansion, hoping to appease the vengeful spirits. But instead of appeasing them, she may have trapped them. The Winchester Mystery House is a hotbed of paranormal activity. Disembodied voices whisper in the hallways, cold spots send shivers down your spine, and shadowy figures flicker at the edge of your vision. It's a place where the line between reality and delusion blurs, where the air is thick with a palpable sense of unease. The house is a testament to the power of grief, the depths of human obsession, and the unsettling possibility that we are not alone. Philadelphia, a city steeped in history, is also home to one of the most haunted locations in America, Eastern State Penitentiary. This imposing Gothic fortress once housed some of the country's most notorious criminals, including Al Capone and Slick Willie Sutton. But the true horror of Eastern State lies not in its past inmates, but in the residual energy of their suffering. Built on a philosophy of solitary confinement, the prison was designed to break the spirit of its inmates. Each prisoner lived in complete isolation, their only contact with the outside world a small skylight that some believed was a window to heaven. The weight of their despair, their anguish, their madness, still lingers within these crumbling walls. Visitors and investigators report feeling an oppressive heaviness, a suffocating sense of dread that permeates every inch of the prison. It's as if the very stones themselves are soaked in the pain and suffering of those who were imprisoned here. Cold spots, disembodied whispers, and shadow figures are just a few of the paranormal phenomena that have been reported within Eastern State's walls. Nestled high in the Colorado Rockies, the Stanley Hotel stands as an imposing presence, its history intertwined with tales of the supernatural. Made famous by Stephen King's The Shining, this grand hotel has become synonymous with paranormal activity, attracting those seeking a glimpse into the other side. Guests and staff have reported countless unexplained occurrences, from disembodied voices echoing through the empty halls to shadowy figures lurking in the corners of your vision. Built in 1909, the Stanley Hotel exudes an air of faded grandeur, its opulent architecture whispering tales of a bygone era. The very air within its walls seems to crackle with an unseen energy, a palpable tension that sets your senses on edge. It's in this unsettling atmosphere that we delve deeper into the hotel's haunted legacy, seeking answers to the mysteries that lie hidden within. We're not just dealing with stories here, we're talking about documented evidence of the paranormal. EVP recordings, strange temperature fluctuations, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. It's the kind of energy that gets under your skin, makes you question everything you thought you knew about the line between the living and the dead. Waverly Hills Sanatorium stands as a chilling monument to a dark chapter in medical history, a place where hope and despair collided in the most tragic of ways. This sprawling complex in Louisville, Kentucky once housed hundreds of tuberculosis patients, many of whom never left alive. The walls of this institution have witnessed countless stories of suffering and loss. The suffering within these walls was immense, a breeding ground for despair and fear that seems to linger even today. The echoes of the past reverberate through the empty hallways, a haunting reminder of the pain endured here. Built in 1910, the sanatorium was intended as a beacon of hope for tuberculosis patients, but it quickly became overwhelmed by the scale of the epidemic. The sheer number of patients far exceeded the capacity of the facility. Overcrowding, inadequate treatment options, and the devastating effects of the disease itself led to countless deaths within these walls. The medical staff struggled to keep up, often resorting to desperate measures. The air inside the sanatorium is heavy with the weight of this tragic past, a palpable sense of sorrow that chills you to the bone. It's as if the very walls have absorbed the anguish of those who suffered here. The stories that emerge from Waverly are not for the faint of heart. Tales of ghostly apparitions, unexplained noises, and a lingering sense of dread are common among those who visit. Patients subjected to experimental treatments, their desperate cries for help echoing through the empty halls. These treatments, often more harmful than helpful, left many in even greater agony. Nurses driven to the brink by the constant death and despair, their own sanity unraveling within the sanatorium's walls. The emotional toll on the staff was immense, with many unable to cope with the relentless suffering. We're talking about a place where death was a constant companion, where the line between life and death blurred with each passing day. The grim reality of the sanatorium was inescapable. The energy here is raw, untamed, and it's drawn us here to confront it, to try and understand the darkness that permeates this place. It's a journey into the heart of human suffering, a quest to uncover the stories that still haunt these halls. The Villisca Axe Murder House stands as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of small-town America. This seemingly ordinary house hides a sinister past that continues to haunt the town of Villisca. On a quiet night in 1912, this unassuming house in Villisca, Iowa, became the scene of an unspeakable crime, the brutal axe murders of 6 children and their parents. The town was forever changed by this horrific event. The killer was never caught, leaving behind a chilling mystery and a house steeped in tragedy. The unanswered questions continue to plague the minds of those who dare to delve into the past. Imagine, if you will, the horror of that night. The fear that must have gripped the hearts of the victims as they faced their final moments. The stillness of a small town shattered by the swing of an axe. The peace and quiet of Villisca forever disrupted by this act of violence. The victims, asleep in their beds, unaware of the evil that had descended upon their home. Innocent lives taken in the dead of night, their dreams turned into nightmares. The blood staining the walls, the silence heavy with the weight of unspeakable acts. The gruesome scene left behind a haunting reminder of the brutality that occurred. Even now, over a century later, the Villisca Axe Murder House remains frozen in time. The echoes of that fateful night still linger in the air. The furniture, the belongings of the victims, all left untouched, as if the Moore family could return at any moment. Their presence felt in every corner of the house, but the air inside is thick with a palpable sense of dread, a chilling reminder of the horrors that unfolded within these walls. The atmosphere is heavy, almost suffocating. We're not just stepping into a house, we're stepping into a crime scene, a place frozen in time by the brutality of the murders. A place where the past refuses to be forgotten. We're heading deep into the heart of Louisiana, to a place shrouded in moss and mystery, the Myrtles Plantation. This grand old mansion has seen it all: love, betrayal, and brutal death. They say that where tragedy strikes, spirits linger, and this place, man, this place is practically overflowing with restless souls. Built in 1796, the Myrtles Plantation has borne witness to over 2 centuries of human drama. From the whispers of slaves forced into unspeakable cruelty to the echoes of families torn apart by yellow fever, the very air here hums with untold stories. Some say the land itself is cursed, stained with the blood of those who met their untimely end within these walls. And then there's Chloe. Legend has it she was a slave forced to become the plantation owner's mistress. Poisoned, they say, for her transgressions, she now roams the halls seeking revenge. Her image, captured in a mirror, is one of the most chilling pieces of paranormal evidence ever captured. The Myrtles Plantation is more than just a beautiful facade, it's a vessel containing the raw energy of generations past, trapped in an endless loop of pain and despair. From one haunted plantation to another, we find ourselves standing before the imposing facade of the LaLaurie Mansion in the heart of New Orleans' French Quarter. Now this place has seen true darkness. It's a stark reminder that the most terrifying monsters aren't found lurking in the shadows, but often wear a human face. Madame Delphine Lalaurie, a prominent socialite in the 1830s, was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Behind her charming smile and lavish parties lurked a depraved sadist who tortured and murdered countless slaves within these very walls. The horrors inflicted within this house are almost beyond comprehension. When a fire broke out in 1834, horrified onlookers discovered Madame Lalaurie's gruesome secret, a hidden chamber where slaves were kept chained, mutilated, and subjected to unimaginable cruelties. The public was outraged. Riots erupted, forcing Madame Lalaurie to flee, never to be seen again. But the evil she unleashed remained, seeping into the very foundation of the mansion. We journey now to Adams, Tennessee, home to a legend so sinister, so pervasive, it's woven itself into the very fabric of the land. We're talking about the Bell Witch Cave, a place where the veil between our world and the supernatural is stretched terrifyingly thin. This ain't just some spooky story, folks. This is a generations-old tale of a vengeful spirit, a family tormented, and a mystery that continues to baffle to this day. The story goes that in the early 1800s, John Bell and his family were targeted by an unseen entity, a malevolent force that became known as the Bell Witch. This entity, some say, was the spirit of Kate Batts, a disgruntled neighbor who believed she'd been cheated by John Bell. Whatever its origins, the Bell Witch wasted no time in making its presence known. At first, it was just strange noises, knocking on the walls, scratching beneath the floorboards. But then, things escalated. Objects moved on their own, whispers taunted the family in the dead of night, and John Bell himself claimed to be physically assaulted by unseen hands. The Bell Witch was relentless, its reign of terror pushing the family to the brink of madness. We're heading deep into the heart of California, to a place frozen in time, Bodd Ghost Town. This ain't your average tourist trap, folks. Bodd is a shell of its former glory, a boomtown turned ghost town, where the spirits of the past linger among the decaying buildings. Imagine a place where time just stopped. The saloons are empty, the houses stand silent, and the wind whispers through the broken windows, carrying with it the echoes of laughter, anger, and despair. They say gold built Bodd, but greed and violence were its downfall. Gunfights, bar brawls, and disease were commonplace. Lives were lost, souls were trapped, and the energy of that violence still hangs heavy in the air. Walking these dusty streets, you can practically hear the clinking of glasses in the saloons, the shouts of miners, the desperate pleas for mercy. It's like stepping into a time warp, a snapshot of a bygone era, but with an unsettling twist. You can feel the history here, but it's not just in the decaying wood and rusted metal, it's in the very air you breathe, a palpable energy that sends shivers down your spine. This is a place where the veil between our world and the next feels thin, and the spirits of Bodd's past are all too eager to make their presence known. Every corner, every shadow seems to hold a story, a fragment of the past waiting to be discovered. The air is thick with history, and if you listen closely, you might just hear the whispers of those who once called this place home. Bodd is not just a ghost town, it's a living museum, a haunting reminder of the fleeting nature of fortune and the enduring presence of the past. Deep in the woods of North Carolina, shrouded in shadow and whispered legends, lies a place that sends chills down the spines of even the bravest souls. The Devil's Tramping Ground. This ain't your average patch of woods, folks. This is a place where the laws of nature seem to bend, and evil casts a long, dark shadow. Imagine a perfect circle, barren of life in the middle of a thriving forest. Trees surround it, but nothing grows within its bounds. Animals avoid it, and even insects seem to steer clear. What could cause such a strange phenomenon? Local legends whisper of the devil himself, using this circle as his own personal dance floor. They say he stomps the ground every night, his fiery footsteps scorching the earth and driving away all life. Some say it's a portal to another dimension, a gateway to a realm of darkness that we can only glimpse in our nightmares. Whatever the truth may be, one thing's for sure. The Devil's Tramping Ground is a place of mystery, fear, and undeniable energy. I hope you didn't get scared. 10 of the creepiest, most unsettling, most downright haunted places in the USA. From abandoned hospitals to cursed ghost towns, We've explored the dark underbelly of American history, uncovering the stories and the spirits that linger long after the living have moved on. Remember, these are just a few of the countless haunted locations scattered across this vast country. Every state, every town, every corner holds its own dark secrets, its own tales of terror, its own restless spirits waiting to be heard. So the next time you find yourself venturing off the beaten path, keep your eyes open, your ears peeled, and your senses on high alert. You never know what might be lurking just around the corner, waiting to make its presence known. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, the dead are never truly gone. They're always with us, whispering in the shadows. Subscribe to our channel and see you in the next video.